Good morning. Welcome to our silent meditation here at Unity in Marin. I welcome all of you who are here physically and also those of you who are online joining us and knowing that there is no separation in spirit, that we are all present here today. And I invite you to go ahead and give yourself the spaciousness to sit back or lie back or however you are right now in this moment, and be aware of the gift of gravity, of being able to just let go of anything that does not serve you in this moment, and just be aware of the spaciousness around you and within you. And give yourself the gift of a long, slow, deep breath. And just allow your breath to give you spaciousness within, and be aware of going into the silence together in community and enjoy. thank you for joining us in these moments of silence in community. And please know that if you would like further support, that the prayer chaplains are available here in the sanctuary after service. And for those of you online, you're very welcome to put in a prayer request, and a prayer chaplain will communicate with you and get in touch with you. And may we, as we go through have this ongoing, amazing connection of going within and being aware of the spaciousness around it. Let us always be aware that as community, we have tremendous, tremendous support. Have a beautiful day.
I was too. Thank you, I appreciate you. Yes. Yes.
It happen a lot. Make sure you're green before you go on.
Oh.
You're green right before you go on, and if you're not, just move that around.
Okay. Hey, I work with this stuff every day. Okay, we're good. Let me get this back to you. Brandy. Brandy before. I almost quit. She was blowing up my phone, and I was like, oh my.
I know, and that Sunday, like when you were calling yourself, I was dealing with.
Yep, I believe it. I believe, and it didn't even occur to me until Deanne said it's Sunday. I'm like, yeah.
Hi, sweetie. Are you the service assistant? Is there possibly a slide in here about a workday in Florida?
There is not.
Good, because I got it in late, but it turns out nobody else could show up, and I was thinking safe people got postponed.
Yeah, it's not in
Great,
the.
thank you. Hi, but good morning. I'm sorry.
That's okay. How are you guys? How are you guys? It's good to see you all. We're gonna get through this day because it's been a shit week. I mean, oh, I took your copy, Brandy. Sorry, this is yours. I'm so sorry. Good morning. Okay. Well, I tried. I told Deanne, she goes, "Oh, you look really good." I go, I'm trying to make the place look elevated here. Gotta elevate the place. Gotta elevate the place. We gotta make it all look good.
Can we give it up for the Renegade Monks? So Dallas is stepping in. Jeremy is in Asia right now. His mother-in-law passed away. So we're just holding him and his whole family, and as they're navigating so much. Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna just breathe into the moment. Everyone want to take a breath with me? Yeah, we're here. I'm Reverend Deanne Morency. I'm the senior minister here, and it's wonderful to have you here in the room. It's wonderful to have you if you're watching on the live stream, whenever you're watching on the live stream. We are a community that is really anchored in open-hearted love. We're anchored in the awareness that we are here to be love, we're here to see love in each other, and we're here to be in service to that love just continuing to be the most present and palpable thing that we all get to experience. Yes? So in support of that, Steve's memorial, right now the tentative date for his celebration of life is November 8th. It's going to be in Alameda. As soon as we have the details, we will make sure to get that to everyone. At the moment, it's thought that it'll be sometime in the afternoon. I was able to join via Zoom. They had their memorial service in Utah on Saturday morning. So I was able to be present, and I saw there were other Unity members there as well, just sort of anchoring and holding Brianna and Cindy. So I just invite everyone to continue to do that. I know that this weekend had to be incredibly challenging. Incredibly challenging. So, just holding Jeremy and his family, holding Cindy and Brianna and their family, and whatever's alive for you right now, right? Whatever's alive for you right now. We had a great day yesterday. But that doesn't mean that there isn't still that thing inside of us, that grief, that loss, that sorrow for whatever is happening within ourselves. And this is a beautiful community to bring that to. So we're going to invite us right now. Thank you, Dallas, for stepping in the way you stepped in. And we have the fabulous Deborah Winters with us today, which is wonderful. We're going to start our opening song, so I'm going to bring the Soul Sisters on up here. The Soul Sisters. So whatever it took to get here, whatever that extra breath is that you need to take right now, the invitation is to let this song help settle you into this very room right here with each other, in that heart-open space. Please join us singing.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For spirit, sweet spirit, spirit is in this very room. And in this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. quite enough love for all the world, and in this very room there's quite enough joy for all the world, and there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, sweet Spirit, Spirit is in this very room.
And so we just breathe into this space that we are consciously creating together. This place in consciousness where we get to choose. We get to choose what it is, where we place our attention, where we place our focus. And so the invitation in this moment is to open your heart even more, to bring your attention to that centeredness that is always available and always accessible. I'm going to invite the prayer chaplains to rise and encircle the community. I'm going to invite Wendy Miley to come forward with the prayer box. I'm also going to invite anyone who identifies themselves as someone anchoring consciousness to feel free to join the prayer chaplains and know that wherever you are, whenever you are, that you are right here with us in this moment. Opening our hearts to each other, opening our hearts to the earth, to the air, to the sky. How good it is in this moment to just recognize the love that is, the power that is, the grace that is nearer than our breath. That is the very truth of my life right now. I know it is the truth of your life right now, and I invite you to just embrace that to the best of your ability. To feel the love that you are, to feel the light that you are, to feel the joy and the centeredness that is all of our true nature and our true name. And it is from this space, this place, that I know that we are creating a container that can hold everything and anything, rooted in faith, rooted in light. And so in this moment, I invite you to take whatever you might be carrying in your heart and place it into this spacious container, a person, a place, a situation. I invite you to speak those names, if you wish, into the space right now. Jeremy and his family, Cindy and Brianna, Leanne and Keith, as their dad is recovering. I'm going to place our country in here. I'm placing Unity and Marin in here, placing each one of us in this sacred understanding that wholeness is our true nature and our true name, that we are always seeking to expand, to be more and never less. So regardless of whatever contraction we might be experiencing in our country, in ourselves, in our relationships, in our finances, just in this moment, just allowing that contraction to quiet and fall away, and welcoming the expansion that is abundance, the expansion that is infinite potential, the expansion that is infinite possibility, and the willingness to always be growing and evolving towards the truth of who and what we all are. The divine identity, our Christ nature, our wholeness, our oneness. And I invite you to see and know with me that this is true for all. There is no separation. There is nothing and no thing outside of it. So I see relationships healed. I see bodies whole. I see finances overflowing. And I see that infinite potential always towards more expansion, more growth, more love, and more light. How grateful I am to know this right now for myself, to anchor this with each one of you for this magnificent community. I invite you to open your hearts even more and to see this blanket of infinite potential just encircling this entire planet and beyond. And it is from this infinite allness that I know the truth of who we all are, and that whatever it is that we are carrying, that the truth of that is done, available right here and right now. And in agreement, I invite you to know this with me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. Thank you, everyone. You may be seated, and we're going to open up the doors and invite people to come on in. It's so beautiful outside today. I'm going to invite Debbie Sweeney Puma. Look how styling our girl is. Okay? She is styling.
Good morning, beloved community. I actually have a wardrobe calendar. It tells me what to wear every single day. And she does not deviate. And I do not deviate. So, you can talk to me more about it later, but that's what I do. We have so many ways to connect here, and I'm just going to highlight the many ways you have an opportunity to join in and connect with each other. One being the welcome team. So we have a welcome team, and the welcome team will be out in the courtyard, usually around the food, and you can talk to them and ask questions, but you'll recognize them because they're all of you. So they'll be out there. We do have a hospitality potluck. If you can lend a hand to Rosa, please do so. You can sign up online or in the courtyard. We have all these social media threads that you can also connect with us. So make sure if you go onto YouTube that you hit subscribe. And then you can also use, text. That's kind of old-fashioned, isn't it, nowadays? But anyway, you can use text and text the word welcome to that telephone number, or you can really go old school, get your pen and paper out, and use the connection card here. So that's all there for you. And then we have upcoming events. The upcoming events are, as you can see on screen, but we also have a bulletin board just outside these two doors, or you can go online and see these different activities. Right. We have a mission statement here within Unity in Marin, and I would like for you to say it with me. Unity in Marin is a loving community dedicated to spiritual growth, inclusivity, and service. We honor and care for ourselves, each other, and the natural world. And our core values are connectivity, inclusivity, and authenticity. And we'll be highlighting authenticity now. Being true to ourselves, our values, and spirit, we share our voice, gifts, and talents with vulnerability and humility. We value honesty and take responsibility for our choices. We nurture trust by aligning our actions with our values. Thank you. Today's flower sponsor is Carolyn Gauthier. For Honey, my canine companion of 18 years, has crossed over the Rainbow Bridge. I'm so grateful for all her love. Oh, so sorry, Carolyn. Also, the flowers were arranged by Carolyn. Another flower sponsor is Al Copen, honoring the memory of my mother, June, and my grandmother, Laverna. If you would like to sponsor hospitality or flower sponsorship, make sure you see Charcel. The artist of the week is Melissa Masters, so make sure you check out her work. And we'll invite Deanne up.
Each week, we like to honor and highlight those who have been in sacred service. And we had a powerful showing yesterday. So I've been checking it. It looks like over 10,000 people in Marin were demonstrating yesterday at the No Kings rally. Novato. So at the first No Kings rally, I believe we had like 300 people. This No Kings rally, they estimate between 1,500 and 2,000 were there. I mean, I was getting photos sent to me. It was both sides of the street. So we have some photos here because our social justice choir showed up and did what they do. And so if we could do the next slide, Zach, just to give you a sense of what the vibe was. I love this sign. It shouldn't have to happen to you for it to matter to you. Love that sign. The next one, there's another sign in there which I love. Make empathy great again. All right. One more forward, Zach. So we are honoring Cindy Hall, who stepped in because Cindy Acker could not be here, and the entire social justice choir. So please stand up if you were there singing yesterday. I believe Cindy Hall might be with the kids right now because she is here. So thank you all for showing up. It feels good to do something, doesn't it? Something that aligns with our values, something that aligns with who we actually are, where we're standing for something. It's really hard to fight that impulse to want to be against something. What we want to stay rooted in is what are we for? And it's our values: connectivity, inclusivity, and authenticity, right? That's what we're for. So thank you for all who showed up and showed out. Kevin was sending me photos, and it just like made my heart sing. It really did. So thank you to all. And so the Social Justice Choir is open to anyone. You do not have to be a singer. It isn't about parts or harmonies. It's about consciousness, and it's about call and response songs. Like it's meant to just be a place where no matter who you are, right? How many people in here say, "Oh, I don't sing"? You can sing in our social justice choir. Okay, that's a place you can sing. So November 2nd, they always practice after the choir, whenever we do a choir Sunday, Social Justice Choir meets afterwards to practice. So I'm going to now invite the fabulous Deborah Winters to come on up. I think that's what I'm doing. Oh, no. Yeah, you can come on up while I keep going. So we need volunteers. I'm good. I can do this. You're good. So we're still looking for volunteers. We're hosting the LGBTQ luncheon next Saturday. It's completely sold out, which is amazing. So if you'd like to help them with decorations, please sign up in the courtyard or online. And then there's one more. And we still need a friend of volunteers. So if you want to be part of the sacred service world, on Saturday, November 1st from 2:30 to 4, we're going to be building altars in the sanctuary. And again, this year we're focusing not just on our own ancestral grief, we're focusing on collective and global grief. So if you want to bring in images from any of these places in the world that keep breaking us open, we're going to have those set up on the main altar, and then we'll have our ancestry set up on the sides altars, okay? So sign up for that as well. And now I'm going to turn it over to Deborah.
Well, I'm just thrilled that Dallas was able to step in for Jeremy. and with the theme that Deanne is reviewing with us today, and all, I had a lot of fun choosing material, and this is one special piece that she is going to grace us with joining me to sing with me together. I've decided to be happy. I've decided to be glad. I've decided to be grateful for all I ever had. I've decided to let go of all these feelings inside. I've decided to let go of all these doubts I hide. And I know I am blessed. And I know all I ever wanted was this. And I know I don't need more. I've got what I came for. I've decided to be open to the little voice inside, telling me I'm beautiful, I'm inspired to be alive. I've decided to be kinder to myself when I feel sad. I've decided to be grateful for all I ever had. And I know I am blessed. I know all I ever wanted was this. And I know I don't need more. I've got what I came for. I've decided to be happy.
I've decided to be grateful.
I've decided to be loving.
I've decided to be kinder.
I've decided to spread my joy.
I've decided to be happy.
I've decided to be loving.
I've decided to be grateful.
I've decided to be happy.
I've decided to be grateful.
I've decided to be kinder.
That is like it, right? So I'll go home now. Um, you know, it's a crazy world right now. And it's as challenging as it all is right now. I forget, but I deeply know, right? To everyone with me on that? Like, I forget, but I deeply know that it is calling all of us to something more, something that we we can't even, it's a God idea trying to express. It's a God idea of love. It's a God idea of equality. It's a God idea of inclusion. It's not our human understanding of it. And anytime we're talking about God ideas, anybody in here know this from their own life? And you get this idea that's bigger than who you understand yourself to be, and it feels too big, it feels too much. I don't know how to do this. That is a God idea. And in the midst of those kinds of ideas, there is so many contractions and expansions and contractions and expansions, because our humanness is really trying to resist, because it's leading us into new territory. And so this book, I've pared it down to 7 ideas. Right? I went through and I looked at everything from the last 6 weeks, and I was like, you know what? Can we just try to distill this down? Because how do we actually stay on this journey? Because I don't think that, I know I can't. Let me speak for myself right now. I can't show up in whatever this new consciousness is unless I bring all of my most authentic self. Not part of my authentic self, but all of my authentic self. And that's what she's truly inviting us into when she says, can you learn to trust yourself? Can you learn to trust yourself? And she's not talking about your personality, egoic self. We are being invited to trust the divinity that we are. We're being invited to trust that larger understanding of not only who we are, but of who everyone is. And in a world that is so polarized, it can be very challenging, right? It can be challenging. And so our work is to keep doing the work. Not to stop doing the work, not to think we're done, not to think we figured it out, not to think anything except what more am I being invited to become right now? Because the love that we are is infinite in its potential. So listen to your intuition over your inner critic. Whew. Could we just walk around doing that? What would that be like if we actually didn't cave into that inner critic, which is always whispering, oh, nobody's gonna like you. Oh, they're gonna think you're weird. Oh, people aren't gonna enjoy that. You're gonna get all kinds of resistance right? All the stories that we tell ourselves. So one of the things she really stresses, and I'm starting at the beginning of the book and just sort of moving forward, is that this is really about freedom, right? It's about freedom to be our most authentic self. It's to not feel constrained. And I pulled my favorite quotes, right? I love this. This is not a trip for tourists. This is a trip for travelers. Are we travelers in here? Right? We are travelers in here. We are not just staying right where we are, looking around and going, oh, isn't that interesting? We are in it as travelers. And so the invitation is we have to follow that intuition. Because the intuition will answer questions while the thoughts, all that critic, ever notice how all it does is churn out more questions? That's all it ever does. When we're following in our intuition, that means that we're landing in that place of certainty. We're landing in that place of faith. She says this, I had always thought that the driven, critical voice within me would help me shape up and get ahead. How many people in here have bought into that narrative? I had no idea that voice was denying me access to my true power. I didn't know I had true power. Your most authentic self, your true self, is powerful beyond imagining. I just want you to take that in for a second. Because in this world, sometimes we feel powerless, yes? But we are actually powerful beyond imagining. So part of what we're being invited into is to move past that critical voice. It's never going to go away. Everyone take a breath. It's never going to go away. But is it the voice that's driving us, that's making our decisions? We want to embrace this idea that we make mistakes, because we can't grow if we're not making mistakes. And we have to meet ourselves and each other with compassion. And the big one is forgiveness. We are never, as a country, going to move past this polarization unless we can activate forgiveness. Really, I mean that. And when you look at what South Africa was able to do, that was all about forgiveness. You want to talk about extreme polarization? Forgiveness is something that we are all being invited into. And we get angry. Chris and I were watching a movie yesterday. It's an old movie with Nicole Kidman, and she plays a character who was born in Africa. And one of the traditions they have is that if somebody murders someone in your family, the tribe would go down to the river, they would tie the person who did the crime up and throw them in the river. And the family gets to decide, am I going to save that person or am I going to let them die? And the belief in the culture is that if you let them die, your vengeance is assuaged, but you will carry the grief with you for the rest of your life. But if you save that person, that you are engaging in an act of healing, not only for yourself, but for everyone in the community. I feel like we're in that place. And we have to do the work where we honestly and authentically, and there's the rub, right, would actually dive in and save the person who we feel is doing us the most harm. What if mistakes mark where you haven't hit your highest, not because of the mistake, but because you haven't been loving towards yourself? And I love this. We blame the mistake. Oh, I did that mistake. I wasn't my best. I wasn't my greatest. I wasn't showing up who I wanted to be. What if that's actually because you're beating yourself up? You're not showing up as who you wanted to be because you're beating yourself up because you're on a path of growth and expansion. You get in your own way when you perceive your life as full of mistakes. You discover your own way when you forgive yourself and others. So this practice of forgiveness right now is just very alive for me, right? Very alive for me. And I want to invite you into that practice because it is that stark. They drown or you pull them out of the river. That's when we're not engaged in forgiveness, that's what we're doing. And you carry that with you. We're the ones who are carrying that with us, right? Nurture yourself and practice self-care diligently. Whew. I've been stepping into this week, like hardcore. Been like, nope, not doing that because I need to just lie on the sofa and be a vegetable. Because sometimes that's what we have to do, right? Because the way you see and treat yourself within your life, that is your life. So when you're being harsh to yourself, when you're being mean to yourself, let's be honest, how many people in here are mean? How many people in here say things like, oh my God, I was so stupid. I can't believe I did that. What is wrong with me? What's the narratives that we run through? Think about saying that to like a 5-year-old. It would be horrible. We would never talk that way to somebody else. We talk that way to ourselves all the time. So this idea of an exceptional life, which is what we're all being invited into, not a mediocre life, an exceptional life, it requires more and yet less. Less of that critical voice, less of that fear and anxiety and worry. She says high alert is one frequency, deep alert is another. We're being invited into that deeper sense of who we are and how we are called to show up to be in the world. And how you treat yourself is a prayer to yourself, capital S. Do you honor your divine nature? We are divinely human. Do we forget that all the time? We have to hold that, right? We have to hold that. So most often what we do is we elevate our divinity. Woohoo, my divine self is so amazing. And my human self is just kind of a mess. I'm inviting us into a place of integration, our divine humanness. Can we hold our divinity? Can we hold our humanity? And can we integrate that so that we can be compassionate in time and in space, but anchored in the truth of who we actually are? Because when we're actually devoted to ourself, we are devoted to the divine. Being devoted to yourself is being devoted to love. Being devoted to yourself is being devoted to connection. If we can't give it to ourselves, guess what? We can't give it to anybody else. Stand in your power, right? Stand in your power. And we have fabulous tools to do that. We have affirmations, we have negations, we have affirmative prayer. We have tools that are so, the technology that we have, and it is technology. The technology that Unity has to transform our consciousness is more powerful than an Excel spreadsheet. We need to activate that within ourselves. We need to, the way you would try to master a new program on your computer, we need to master the skills that we have. How many people in here have a critical voice that just comes up? Right? Oh, everybody's hand should come up, folks, right? I mean, no denial here, okay? So affirmations and negations are like the baseline, like the foundation. We say, oh, I'm really scared right now. And then we say, but that fear is not going to have any power over me because I am a divine human and I am powerful beyond imagining. Do you see how I used a negation? I'm not negating my fear. Let me be very clear. We do not negate our emotions. We do not dismiss our emotions. We get to feel our emotions, but we do not let them have control and power over us. Instead, we acknowledge the truth of who we are. And so the affirmative prayer process, part of what that does is it's about when we are willing to stand in our divine spiritual authority, in our Christ nature, take up your bed and walk. There's not a whole lot of in there, right? It's pretty clear. Do it. Be it. So any challenge that you're facing, right? It's not about how it's holding you back. It's about how you can step into a greater understanding of who you actually are. And I love how she described this as helplessness is an electric fence around me. But it turns out that I can turn off the current at any time. And that's what our spiritual tools, our spiritual technology gives us the power to do, to turn off that current. You may lack confidence, but you never lack power. And that is something we have to completely remind ourselves of. So how do we remind ourselves? Our affirmative prayer practice, this is just the heart of it, right? So if I'm in fear about the shutdown and how it's impacting my world right now, right? I remind myself, God is infinite possibility. Therefore, I am infinite possibility. And therefore, I can breathe into whatever this experience is because I know that I have the capacity to navigate it all. I can navigate all of it from a place of strength, from a place of expansion, not contraction. Right? We remind ourselves, God is, I am, therefore I can. Everybody say it. God is, I am, therefore I can. Right? Because it's the I can part that really matters. It's the I can part that actually changes how we show up in the world, in time and in space. So it doesn't just stay in idea land. It actually manifests in some powerful way, like it did yesterday. That was a God is, I am, therefore we can, right? Be daring and stretch past your current limitations. I get it. Like, for some of us, it's like, oh, this is the way it is. All of us have some area in our life where we think, this is just the way it is. What if that's not true? Just the question, what if that's not true? What if it's the way it is because you have that electric fence all charged up around you and you're not moving into the full potential of who you truly are? So we have to be daring. We have to be willing to not dim our light. Put yourselves out there and shine generously, brightly, and bravely. That is what we are all called to do and to be. Can we say this affirmation together? I will not dim my light. I dare to shine generously, brightly, and bravely. And you know, yesterday I was looking on Threads and Blue Sky, and there was small towns in red states where, you know, it's one thing to show up in Novato, right? Everybody breathe into that with me, right? And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that freedom, right? For that sense of safety. But there were people in red states showing up, right? Right? Standing in their courage. There was one town in Tennessee, this tiny little town, and they had a picture that showed the last No Kings rally, 11 of them showed up. And then they showed the next one, and there was over 700 people. Because those 11 were willing to shine their light. Because they were courageous. So the practice of an inspired life is about transcending limitations. Everyone really think about what that means for yourself. Every limitation you've placed on yourself. We are being invited to live into an inspired life, that moving from our intuition, from our deepest wisdom, not from what our mind tells us is the way that things have to be. And the way we do that is by showing up and by daring to do things that make us doubt ourselves. That thing that you're like, oh, I don't know. That's the thing you need to dare yourself to do. And it doesn't matter whether it works out or shows up or does what you want it to do. That's not the point. The point is that you're exercising your muscle to trust yourself, to step out, to be courageous, to shine brightly. It's about being that, not about the stuff you get from it. It's about the beingness. That's what we're focused on. Be grateful for the abundance that you do have. That red state, blue state, we live in an abundant world. We are blessed. Do you really sit with your blessings? Or are you constantly focused on what you don't have? What don't I have? What we want to focus on is this idea that this is an abundant world. She says, by offering thanks, I'd be loving my life instead of making mental lists of where it might improve. And this is the difference between operating from our mind and operating from our intuition, right? I love this Joe Dispenza, and I know for some people he's challenging, but I love his work. And if you have not sat and gone on YouTube and done any of his meditations, I invite you to explore it. But the quantum field responds not to what we want. Okay, just that is like the biggest misunderstanding of unity teachings. It's not like, oh, I want a Maserati, and then I get a Maserati. The quantum field responds to who we are being. That's what the response is. So whatever it is that you want more of from that deep understanding, you want more love, you want more connection, you want more clarity around what is yours to do, you need to be that first. You have to be it first and foremost. You need to live in that energy field. And sometimes that means playing what if. What if, just to get it in your embodied being. Like, what would it be like if you didn't have to worry about paying your rent each month? What would that feel like in your body? And can you live in that beingness? That's becoming a place for abundance. And then be a stand for kindness and in service to the world. This is ultimately where the whole point of you learning to trust yourself is so that you can be a stand for kindness and be in service to the world. That's what we're here for. And it can be hard to anchor kindness in a world that doesn't seem to be very kind right now. Make empathy great again. But that's ours to do. That's ours to do. Can you feel the truth of that? If we want more empathy, guess what? We have to be more empathy. If we want more equality, guess what? We have to be that. She says, be a stand for kindness or a tuning fork that allows others to remember what is right in themselves and in this life. This is the whole point of affirmative prayer. The whole point of affirmative prayer is to align ourselves with the truth of our divine humanity and then see it and reflect it back at everybody else. The prayer chaplains are going to be doing a special service on November 9th. You're not going to want to miss it because our affirmative prayer process is so powerful. Because if you're like, well, how do I be a light in the world? You need to start the affirmative prayer practice. I cannot tell you how transformative it is. You know, there's a part of Tama's sort of perspective, right, that has a cynical sort of like thread that kind of runs through it, which you can either relate to or not, right? I can relate to it because I used to be that, really used to be that. And some of that is it's kind of like a New Yorker, sophisticated, like intellectual, you know, everything is cynic. You know, you're a cynic about everything. You're raised to be a cynic about everything. That's being smart, right? That's taking care of yourself. That's being realistic. Anybody in here can relate to this? It's not just New Yorkers, right? It's everywhere. When we step into the affirmative prayer process, we're stepping into a place of deep and powerful transformation. So that when I look at people, what I'm able to see now is not how I need to protect myself. It drives my wife nuts, right? Drives her nuts sometimes. She's like, you're so trusting. I'm like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because that's what this process enables me to become. Because it constantly reminds me of the divinity of who we all are. Michael Beckwith used to share this story of she was someone who went to Agape, and she gave him permission to share the story, where she was somewhere traveling, and she got kidnapped. And she's in this car driving with this person who is threatening all kinds of things. And she said that like this stillness came over her, and she just saw him as the Christ light that he actually was. And they ended up having this intense conversation, and he drove her back to her hotel and dropped her off. Right? Infinite potential, the infinite field of potential. That's what we are constantly inviting ourselves into. So you get in your own way when you take actions from your smaller self, and you discover your own way when you act from selfless love. She said all she saw was how much pain this person was in. That's what she saw. All right, so here's the 7. Listen to your intuition over your inner critic. Embrace your mistakes and meet yourself and others with compassion and forgiveness. Nurture yourself and practice self-care diligently. Stand in your power. Build a practice of affirmations, negations, and affirmative prayer. Be daring and stretch past your current limitations. Be grateful for the abundance that you do have, and be a stand for kindness and in service to the world. This is the ongoing journey. This is what we're all being invited into. And on the other side of this journey for us, because this is an infinite journey, this is going to continue long past when we have left this planet in this particular shape and form that we're in. But we want to leave the world better than we found it. That's right, better than we found it. More love, more compassion, more forgiveness. So let's take this into our time of meditation. Because that's a lot, yes? But I got 7, right? That kind of covers what she covers in the book, right? Let's just breathe into whatever got, stirred, because the stirring is good. The stirring may be uncomfortable, but the stirring is good. So just quieting that mind, however active it may have been or become, and just really, if you want to place your hands on your heart for a moment, just be present here in this beautiful heart space that is love, that is limitless potential. Just the invitation is to touch that, or let it envelop you, or sink into it, or whatever image works for you, but to allow your humanness to lay its burdens down. There is that which you are, which is powerful beyond imagining, that has wisdom, inspiration, that is seeking a way for this world to align with the highest vibration of truth. As each of our lives, as this community, as this world. And as we touch that place, that awareness and consciousness of who and what and whose we truly are, I invite you to just allow whatever feels outside of it, whatever feels separate from it, to just bring that into, just welcome it in. What seems intractable? What limitations have you put on yourself, on the world, on your community? And let's just rest for a few minutes in the silence as we just allow the wholeness that we are, the wisdom that we are, to be present with whatever is active in our humanness. Welcoming the God idea. how good it is to take this moment to allow whatever it is that we see as our ceiling. And I'm just going to invite you right now to take that ceiling and make it your floor. Take whatever you think is stopping, blocking, limiting, and you're standing upon it, open to limitless potential. This is what I invite you to bring into this coming week on this ongoing journey of truly learning to trust yourself. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. So I'll say this affirmation one more time, and I'll invite you to know it with me. I will not dim my light. I dare to shine generously, brightly, and bravely. Let's say that all together. And so it is. Amen.
There's never been a moment you were forgiven. You are not hopeless. Though you have been broken, your innocence stolen. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. There is no distance that cannot be covered over and over. You're not defenseless. I'll be your shelter, I'll be your armor. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. And I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. And I will never stop marching to reach you in the middle of the hardest fight. It's true, I will rescue you. Oh, yes, I will rescue you. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. of the hardest fight, it's true, I will rescue you. Oh, I will rescue. Oh, yes, I will rescue you.
That was a perfect song selection. That was beautifully done. Thank you, Deborah. Well, I don't know if you guys read the Daily Word today, but the Daily Word for today is forgiveness. So if you want peace, forgive. And it's hard to be love if you're angry. So practice, let it go, let it all go. If you want to connect with people over what you heard today, or you want to share or not share, you just want to kind of be in the space of what stirred up for you, we have a 30-minute discussion circle today with Reverend Deanne. So make sure you, is it going to be right after? No, 15 minutes after service. So find the welcome team and then go to the circle. There you go. Dia de los Muertos service. So any pictures that you want to bring, make sure you can do that. We're holding a larger container, as you know. So personal pictures or collective or global, anything to do with that in the world of grief. So that's on November 2nd. The Community Social Justice Choir, again, if you can't sing, they'll still accept you as you are. You're perfect, so come and join them again on November 2nd. And then Deanne, you want to talk about Faith in Action?
So last week, some of you did click through the email, but I want to make everybody aware. So the Faith in Action, if you made a pledge in 2025 for Faith in Action, you were sent an email that asked you to check where you were, right? And you click on it, and it shows you where you are in relationship to your pledge, like how much you pledged, how much you've given. If you did not get it, check your spam. And if you do need a hard copy, you can see Carla, okay? She has to print them out one by one, so it's tedious. We're trying to move away from the paper world, yes, everyone? So first check in your emails to see if it's in your spam. And if it's not, you can check with Carla, and she'll give you it as a hard copy. So these are through September, so that you have a chance to sort of see what you pledged, where you are. Now, one of the things about this community that I just want to say thank you is that we have like a 98% pledge fulfillment in this community. This is unheard of, okay? It's unheard of. When I tell people that my community, 98% of the people who make a pledge fulfill that, other ministers just look at me and go, most people are in the 45 to 50% range, okay? So thank you for your willingness to honor your commitment. And, as you know, the ducting, we had a lot of unexpected expenses arise this year. So just a chance to sort of check in where you are with your giving. And obviously, if you want to give more than what you pledged, we are more than happy to say yes. Right? So, yes, and if you have any questions about that, you can talk to Lynn. She's going to be like, oi. But you can talk to Lynn, because she's the one who sent out the emails, okay? All right, thank you.
And as you know, we don't exist without all our pledges. So, again, thank you for that. We are now at the giving and receiving portion of our service. So, we have different ways for you to give, as you can see, many different ways. This is also the time that you would put your connection card in the basket so you can get that ready, as well as your offering. And I'd like for all of us to state our offering affirmation statement. I am the power of abundance, giving and receiving gratefully. We'll have Deborah come up and perform again.
You carry the weight much better than I do. Day after day, we're waiting for good news. All of our needs, our hopes and our dreams are waiting on an open door. I see a spark of light in the dark. We'll be stronger than before. We gotta love like we've never been hurt. We gotta rise like we've never been burned. And after all the lessons we've learned, we're gonna make this a beautiful world, a beautiful world. We're gonna make this a beautiful world. We'll carry the weight. No mountain is too high. It's never too late. There's always a sunrise. All of our needs, our hopes and our dreams are waiting on an open door. I see a spark of light in the dark. We'll be riser than before. We gotta love like we've never been hurt. We gotta rise like we've never been burned. And after all the lessons we've learned, we're gonna make this a beautiful world, a beautiful world. Ooh. Oh, we're gonna make this a beautiful world. Oh, I need your help. We're gonna make this a beautiful world. Ooh. Oh, we're gonna make this a beautiful world. Ooh. Oh, we're gonna make this a beautiful world. Ooh. Oh, we're gonna make this a beautiful world. Ooh. Oh, we're gonna make this a beautiful world. Yes, we are.
Fabulous. Okay. Now I can start my week off great now. All right. We're going to have blessings of the animals on November 8th. It'll be done on the front steps here. Coffee and donuts will be served. Now, if you have a skittish pet snake and you don't want to bring it, you can bring a picture of it. Picture of your turtle, picture of your lizard. Keep those things at home, please. Keep those at home. I'm bringing my little Peaches, and you guys will eat that dog. So no, leave the weird ones home. No, I'm kidding. Unless they're well trained, must be trained. All right. As Deanne will be going on vacation, we have a guest. We're going to have guest speakers, and one of them being the Unity and Marin Prayer Chaplains. And the title of their talk is The Transformative Power of Prayer, and Sharon Henderson will be the guest musician. And then we have on November 9th, we have Breath, Body, Mind, Elements workshop by Deanna Rice and Beth Abrams. That promises to be fantastic. There's registration, but no one's turned away. Okay. And then we have the guest speaker, Dawson Church. He's a best-selling author. His talk is Trauma to Transcendence, So we've got a lot of things happening while Deanne's gone, so we can play. We can play. All right, will all the Unity and Marin chaplains please rise? These wonderful individuals are available to us after service today. You can share whatever is on your heart with them in confidence. We thank you for your service. And are the children ready to come in? No children. I see Melissa going, Okay.
Invite us to hold the youth of this community, obviously, but I'm also going to invite us to just hold the youth of the world right now. I'm thinking about Gaza, I'm thinking about the Ukraine, I'm thinking about any of these trans kids who are so scared, right? So we're holding all of them in our hearts, and we say this knowing the truth of it. You are the perfect expression of divine light. We love you exactly the way you are. So it is.
And let's say our prayer of protection.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God, and the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and so it is.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. Sing to each other. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful.
Sing to those on the live stream.
I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful.
Happy Sunday, everyone. I'll be right here at the door, and then for the discussion circle. Join me.